We're going to be talking about choosing a great product name, okay, and getting a good domain name. So how many of you guys have an idea of what your product is going to be called? Let me know in the chat. Just give me your product name in the chat. All right, some of you guys have a product. If you guys don't have the product name, totally cool, because we're going to be talking about this in this training. Cool, I see a couple product names. And the product name is kind of important, more for like branding purposes and making sure that you can tell people about your product and people can tell their friends about your product and that kind of thing. It's not the most important thing in the world, and I don't want you overthinking it too much, but it's great to have a really good product name. That way you're really happy and confident and proud of your course. And you can say, hey, check out my product online. This is the domain. All right, cool. So let's get into it here. We're going to be talking about choosing a great product name, and we're actually going to be showing you, how to actually get your domain name through GoDaddy. And it's all super easy. Most of you guys probably know how to do it. We're going to run through everything with you guys. So the first thing with your product is to make it easy and memorable. Okay, so what I want you to do right now is take out a sheet of paper and a pen if you guys don't have it yet. Let me know when you guys have something to write on, because we're going to kind of do some brainstorming. That way we can figure out your product on this training call, what it's called. So say yes if you are, or say ready if you guys have something to write on, kind of brainstorm on. Arlen's ready. Alan, Andrew, David, Scott, Nancy. Cool, let me see some more here. I just want to make sure. All right, cool. They're coming in now. Margaret, Jack. Sweet. Okay, so what we're going to do is kind of do some brainstorming. Coming up with a good name is sometimes a pain because we overthink it a lot of the times, and we just kind of get all these names in our head, and it kind of takes over everything, and we don't take action. So I don't want that. What I want you guys to do is I want you guys to do this step today. Okay, no matter what, come up with your name and just get it on GoDaddy today, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But the first thing is to make it easy and memorable. So what I want you to think about is what your course does, first of all. So if it's weight loss, or if it's golf swinging, or if it's enchilada cooking, think of something that you can create into a name that's easy and memorable. And the best way to make something easy and memorable is to make it simple. Okay, that's probably the easiest way. The longer and more confusing it is, the harder it's going to be to remember. And the next thing is you can make it catchy. And what that means is it's just something that like kind of sounds well together, and you're like, wow, that's just something I'll be able to remember. It's simple, catchy. You can do something that's unique, because if it's too general, it's actually going to be a bad name. So if you think a good name is like lose weight program, it's not, because people are going to mix up like weight loss program. Is it weight loss? Is it program for weight loss? Like, I can't remember what it is because it's not something unique that people will remember. It's not like Carl's fat loss or something that is a little bit more unique instead of just completely general. And we're going to be going over some examples better than the one I just gave you now soon enough. And the last thing is it's easy to spell, because it sucks if your product is great, your customers love it, but then when they try to tell their friends about it, their friends want to get it, and they try to look it up, and they try to put it in their domain into the URL, and they can't find it because they're spelling it wrong. Okay, so think about that. Is it something that most people can spell? Think about the name ClickBank. Okay, it's very simple. It's pretty catchy because it kind of goes together, like ClickBank, Coca-Cola, things like that go together. It's catchy. It's unique. you're not going to think bank click, right? You're going to think click bank. And it's really easy to spell. Everyone knows how to spell click. Everyone knows how to spell bank. So that is a pretty good example. I think they did it really well with being easy and memorable. You'll notice that a lot of other names are pretty similar, like Facebook, click bank, and you shouldn't kind of take that as like, oh, I should make it sound like ClickBank or Facebook. But the idea is that it's simple, it's catchy, it's unique, and it's easy to spell. All right, so the next thing that is important, because being all these things is good, but it's not going to make any sense for your product unless you're keeping your customers in mind. Okay, so what that means is you have to think about who's actually buying your product, who's landing on your sales page and looking at what your product is called. Because, you know, if it's a weight loss product and it's called something that has nothing to do with weight loss or nothing to do with the goals of weight loss, like burning fat or getting fit or getting toned or whatever it is, then your customers might be a little bit confused, even if it's super simple, like Meebo, right? But does that make sense? I don't know. You got to make sure it makes sense to your customer, or you have a reason for it making sense and you tell your customer about it. So you have to think about your customer, and the best way to do that is to think about what they want and why they're on your page, and also who they are. So their demographic means, like, you know, who are they? Are they guys, girls? You know, what kind of language do they speak? Age, super important. Part of the demographic thing is how old are they, and it kind of goes into the last two because their goals are probably different and the way you talk is probably different as well. So the goals is actually like a really big one, and we're going to go over some case studies of some really good names to give you guys some examples right maybe before or after we do the actual showing you exactly how to set up your domain with GoDaddy. But the goals is a really big one because what you want to kind of portray in your name is that it's solving something for the customer, that your customer's buying that and they're like, wow, this is what I need. If you can have a name that is what they need just in the name, you don't even have to try to sell them on the what the whole product's about, but they kind of get it right in the name, and that's probably a good name, as long as, you know, it is simple and easy and memorable and that kind of stuff. And the last one is the appropriate lingo. So this is a big thing that a lot of people don't really realize. So when you're creating a product, let's say you're an expert in gardening, right? And your product is all about how to grow herbs. But your customer, their whole thing is they're just growing a garden for the first time. And that's what your product is. It's about how to grow your first herb garden. But you know everything about herbs. And so you want to call your product like the Latin word for herbs that no one really knows except herb experts. But that's not your customer. So you can't call it Herbalinko, Balinko, whatever it is, okay? So you got to think about your customer and what makes sense to them. And let me know in the chat if you guys kind of are starting to get that, because you guys have that piece of paper. And so what I want you to start doing is start just writing down words that you think has to do with the goals of your customer, okay? Write down words and try to make them kind of emotional words so they strike emotion in your customer, and it has to do with your actual product. So let me know if you guys have some. Actually, just type in the chat some of those words. Like, give me like one or two of those words in the chat. All right, fit, fast, simplified, quick, yummy, relief. Cool. So really when it comes down to like creating a good name, what we like to do is we just have like, you know, our piece of paper and we're just writing down like names and just words. And what happens is you can put a couple words together and it comes to a really good course name. And what we're going to see also, guys, is that maybe you want your course to be called like Fast Fitness, for example. You're going to see that the domain is probably not available for things like that. So we want to also think about our domain and to make it very simple and yet still available on GoDaddy. So what we're going to do right now is talk about some tricks to getting easy, memorable names that have to do with your customers and their goals. Okay? And here's some tricks that we've used. And these are tricks to get good domain names because you want your domain name to be the same as your product name. So if I say, yeah, I just bought, 6-pack shortcuts, it's a course, I want to tell my friend, hey, yeah, I bought this course. It's called 6-pack shortcuts. You should check it out. And then they go ahead and they Google it or they put it in, into the address bar at the top and they search for it. If your website is called like I like 6-pack abs, but your course is 6-pack shortcuts or whatever it is, you want to make sure that your course is the same as your domain name. That way people can find you. So some tricks to getting good domain names that we've used is adding certain things at the end of your name. So say we wanted to have that course, it's called Fast Fitness, right? It's for people who want to do fitness really quick and not have to spend hours at the gym. Maybe that's the product. What you can do is add words at the end of it. Fast Fitness is not going to be available on GoDaddy, but something like Fast Fitness Factor or the Fast Fitness System or Fast Fitness Program or Fast Fitness Blueprint is probably going to be available. So that's a way to kind of add something at the end that has to do with what your product is, right? It's a system, it's a package, it's something that people actually get. And that allows you to tap into domain names that are probably still available on GoDaddy. And the other thing is to be unique. So we said earlier that being too general isn't good, but if you can be unique, there's a huge chance that your domain is going to be available. Like Lisa's Short Sale Secrets, right? That is a very unique name. It's maybe a little bit too long, but if you have certain things in the domain that are completely different, like your name or like there's one on ClickBank that's, I think, Ted's Woodworking. If you have something unique, that's probably going to make it available. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to open up, I'm going to open up ClickBank so you guys can go, we're going to go through the marketplace. And then what I want you guys to do is, keep coming up with names, scratching them down anytime you get an idea. And then we're going to go ahead and buy it through GoDaddy so you can see how that works. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that on ClickBank right now. You guys can do this too because it has to do with your niche. It'll give you more ideas and for your own product name. But I'm going to go to the marketplace right now. And I can look through any of these categories, right? So let's say my product is in fitness, health and fitness. And what I can do is I can kind of look at some of these names and try to get ideas. So this is the Venus Factor, reverse diabetes, cellulite gone, old school, new body. Okay, so these are some ideas, and you can just go through these and kind of get some really good ones, and also look at your actual category. Fat loss factor, Adonis golden ratio. And so let's go through another one here. Someone give me your what category you'd be in. What is your niche? Let me know. Type it in the chat and we'll go through that category. First one who does it. All right, cool. We'll do cooking with Jack. All right, so let's go to cooking, food, and wine here. And the first products are called Paleo Recipe Book. paleorecipe.com. Paleo recipe book, because I'm looking for a paleo recipe book. Good name. Guilt-free desserts, that's a good one. Paleohacks.com, like I'm hacking my diet and getting really cool diet. A lot of paleo stuff here. And if you can't see the domain, what you can do is also just click it and it opens in it. You can open it in a new tab. Like this one is family friendly fat burning meals. That's a long one, but it's still selling. So that tells you how important the name is. It's not the most important thing in the world. Here's a good one, the Bikini Model Cookbook, right? Because I want to look like a bikini model, not me specifically, but that is a cool thing because what it's doing is it has the benefits in the name. And so you know once you're going to the site, like, oh, okay, I get it. It's a cookbook. That way you can look like a bikini model, right? Cool. So you get the idea here. They're using things like cookbook and stuff like that at the end of it to help them get good names, just like we did program and that kind of stuff. Recipe secrets, caveman feast. And generally what I'd say, guys, is that you want to keep it between 2 and 3 words, okay? Like caveman feast or recipe secrets or paleo cookbook. All right, so you don't want to do like some 5-word thing that people are like, wait, was it like this one is tough for me to remember. I will not probably remember family friendly fat burning meals. If I have to tell my friends that, I'll probably just give up and just not go for that. But it's still selling because it does not have to do with the name. It's not based on, that much word of mouth. It's based on affiliates promoting the product. So I don't want you guys to get too hung up on it. We can do one more before we go into kind of looking for the domains on GoDaddy. So let me know in the chat what category should we go over next? All right, here's the next one, self-help. Okay, so we're going to self-help right here. And by the way, you guys, you can actually go by clicking on the arrow. It'll drop down the categories of self-help because self-defense is probably much more different than eating disorders. Okay, so to give you guys a good idea of what are some good names here. Okay, this is an interesting one, the Tao of Badass. Okay, pretty memorable. Be irresistible for what men secretly want. Text your ex back. Very catchy. Text your ex back. Digital romance. Penguin method. I guess that's how to get a soulmate because penguins only have one partner for their whole life. Family survival system. Family self-defense. Okay, those are really cool. So hopefully those have given you some ideas. I want you to just be, taking down words and names onto that scratch paper. That way you can get one when we get right off this call or even while we're doing it. So what we're going to do right now is go to GoDaddy. Okay, now GoDaddy is basically the go-to place to get a domain name. That way you can have a name that people actually type in and can visit your site. Okay, so there are a lot of different ones. I get asked a lot of times like, oh, how about this domain, or how about this domain registrar? That's what it's called. GoDaddy is a domain registrar, places where you can buy domains. It really doesn't matter. I just use GoDaddy because it's something I know and something easy. And I recommend you use GoDaddy too, because when we talk about how to hook up everything with the site builder and that kind of stuff, we're going to be using GoDaddy for the demos, so you might as well do it too. Okay, so the way to search for a GoDaddy domain is click find a domain. A lot of times it'll just have it like set up like this, and you just start entering in what you think a good domain name would be. So give me a domain name, guys, that you want me to type in here. So I'm going to look through some of you guys' categories to give you guys some ideas. All right, here's a cool one. Oh, and by the way, this is just your domain. So what this means is that this is just a domain name that you get, and it's like $10 for the whole year. This is not hosting that we're going to get. We're not going to spend $10 per month on hosting or more like other, like getting hosting for your domain. You don't need that. All you need is the domain. So if you're going to go ahead and buy one, you do not need to get hosting, okay? Because GoDaddy is going to try to get you to get hosting just like this. It says it's a website builder for $1 a month, but trust me, you're not going to be getting it for $1 a month when you're done with this GoDaddy stuff. So you don't need hosting. We pay for that with the site builder, so don't worry about that. Usually, it's probably around $10 to $20 per month for hosting, and if you're doing more volume, it can get to hundreds of dollars per month. We handle all of it for you, so don't worry about that. So for the domain name, let's just go ahead and come up with a couple here. Jack says, that's a good one, what's for dinner.com. All right, that's really cool. That could be like a course for anyone who wants to cook quick dinners or whatever. But here we go. It's not available. Most really good domain names are not going to be available if they're pretty generic. Now, this was actually really unique. What's for dinner? Because it's like a question. But let's see what we can do with this. Okay, so below here, you're going to have some different recommended domains that are available. What's for dinner.club? We don't want that. What's for dinner.us? What's for dinners.com? Don't really want that. What's for dinner party? So you can check these out. Some of these aren't good. Some of these will be good. And really, it's all about trying and seeing if things are available. So what's for dinner.com is not. How about what is for dinner, right? What is for dinner is not. What's for dinner tonight is not as well. So you totally have to, play around with stuff. The dinner tonight cookbook is probably going to be available. That's my guess. Yep, that's available. Dinner tonight cookbook. So is that the best domain? Probably not, but I just came up with it in a couple minutes. So you're going to want to play around with stuff until you find a good domain. And they will give you some ideas here. And just to let you know, it's okay to have like a different ending, like a .net or even a .org. But I'd try to stay away from like .us or .co, .info, because what happens is it's harder to find, first of all, because no one's typing in dinner tonight cookbook.info or .co. But the other thing is it also doesn't look very professional. So I would say .com and .net are the two that we have actually used for products. You can use a .org. Kind of looks professional because a lot of people think that .orgs you need a charity or something like that when you don't. But yeah, I would try to figure out a good name, .com or .net, preferably .com that you can use because it lowers your credibility if you have like a weird looking domain. All right, so let's check out another one. So let me see in the chat. I'm going to go through some of your categories that you guys had here. Vegan dieting, it's pretty similar. So maybe like a vegan diet cookbook. It's a little bit general. It might be taken there. Oh, that one's available. Cool. Vegan diet cookbook. Um, all right, give me some words, guys, that, or maybe just your niche, like what it is. So, short sale secrets. So short sales are a way to purchase properties from the city, I think. That one's taken. Short sale system, or the short sale system. If you want to have the in front of it, that's totally okay. That allows you to get more domains generally, because most people don't do the, but this is a pretty good name, theshortsalesystem.com, because it all kind of flows and it's catchy. This one is probably available if I had to guess. Short sale blueprint. Nope. So it does get competitive, guys. You have to play around with it. You know, here's my short sale blueprint. So you can have my short sale blueprint. Nope, your short sale blueprint might be taken as well. So it's all about testing, playing around with it. Your short sale blueprint is available. Not the best name, but again, it does take some time to play around with it. So what happens when you guys have a good domain name? You got to purchase it, right? It's not a big deal. You guys can always get a different domain if you want to. Let's do like my vegan cookbook. Let's see if that's available. No. I'm just doing this for demo right here. Not the best name again. The vegan cookbook system. I'm clicking select, okay? And now I'm getting this domain. So what it's gonna try to do is it's trying to get you to buy more domains. You don't need to get all the different domains like .info, .net, .org, unless you want. Not the biggest deal in the world. Continue to cart here. Okay, so this is the only interesting thing, okay? So what happens when you have a domain is people can actually look you up. So what that means is right down here, you'll see it says that your info actually is provided on a Whois database. It's a public database of everyone who buys domains with your actual address and your full name and your email and that kind of stuff. If you don't want that, you're going to have to click yes for the privacy. I do not think you need the business protection. I've never gotten this. So you can just go to the privacy protection one. So it's $7.99 for the domain name. And now they're going to try to sell you on stuff like hosting, website builder, that kind of stuff. The website builder, guys, just so you know, has nothing to do with creating your own product, and it won't work for creating your own product. So you do not want to try to do this. It's just a very basic website. See, it says perfect for basic personal and small business websites. That's kind of just to like show off who you are. You do not, this will not help you for selling a product on ClickBank. And I don't think you can even get it to work. That way you can even set it up to actually sell it. So don't need that. Don't need hosting. That's all included. And by the way, guys, just so you know, you see all these like stars and stuff. Okay, what that means is that it's not as low as $1 per month with a free domain. It means you have to read all the bottom and all the little starred stuff that's probably going to be right here. See, look, these are all the product limitations. And GoDaddy is pretty popular for this, so that they're going to try to upsell you and try to get you in on as many things as possible. You don't need an email domain. I wouldn't worry about that right now. Click continue to cart. All right, so all we got is the privacy protection thing. All right, that didn't work. Let me try again. Cool. So it's basically telling me, hey, you should like renew all your other domains, blah, 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 because I'm actually logged into my account. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to click no thanks. But basically that is it. You might have to set up your own GoDaddy account. Actually, you will have to unless you have one already. But my point is that you do not need to get anything else except the domain. And if you want to get the privacy, you can totally get that. Okay, so you can get privacy for your domain that way. It's completely impossible for anyone to look you up for your address and stuff like that through your domain. So that is what I wanted to talk about on this training. What we're going to do is kind of open it up to Q&A about anything, but also about this domain thing, because I want to make sure that, if you guys have any questions, if you want us to actually look at your domain and say, hey, is this a good domain? Let us know in the chat. And if you don't want us to say it out loud, do parentheses, don't say out loud. Okay? And we'll just chat right back to you. Adam, is there anything you wanted to add about this whole domain stuff? I know a big thing, guys, is that don't try to get this to be perfect. You'll see a lot of these products. Heck, let's go to the biggest products on all of ClickBank. All right, let me try that again because it's only that one category here. And I kind of want to show you guys that it's not the most important thing in the world, okay? So these are all the most popular products. Here's Ted's Woodworking. This is a Get Cash for Surveys, Talent Badass, Old School New Body, Cellulite Gone, Reverse Your Diabetes, and the Venus Factor. So it's not the most important thing. I don't want you guys to just completely be like, heck, I'm not going to work on my product. I'm not going to work on my sales video. I'm not going to work on anything until I get the perfect domain. It's something that you should just get out of the way in like 10 minutes and then move on from there. All right, do we need an SSL to place a PayPal button? You don't need to get anything except the domain name to be able to work all of ClickBank's payment processing.
Here's a good question from Jack. Is 1 year purchase long enough for a domain? Definitely. Whenever I buy a domain, I do 1 year, and then it notifies you before the next year if you want to renew or not. So I've always done 1 year ever since I started buying domains.
And what I'm going to do, by the way, guys, is I'm going to enter in a link for you guys. And this link, if that's not clickable for you, is I'm just Googling GoDaddy promo codes. Okay, and you can go over here and you can click any of these links. Most of them work really well, and you can get good coupons. Okay, so when you're about to pay on GoDaddy, you'll see an area for a coupon code, and you can just get this coupon, for example, 199.com for a domain. All right, so then just click show coupon code, copy this code. This is a good one, and just go ahead and put that in right before you're about to purchase your domain. So they do expire, so I don't even know if this one works. But there's going to be some on here that are going to be perfect for you. And it's going to end up being like $5 for a domain with the privacy, or maybe $10 with the privacy. And if you guys have a domain already, maybe it's not through GoDaddy or whatever it is, you'll be able to link it up with the site builder. And next week is actually, we have everything now that we needed to do. The one thing is we needed a domain. So now that we have everything, the next week we'll talk about, how to put everything on with the site builder. And you can have a domain from anywhere else and it'll still hook up with the site builder. Cool. And I'm typing some in for some of you guys who didn't want for me to say it out loud. Quit my job is good. Quitmyjob.com, but that might be taken, Ron. If I had to guess, I think it's too good. So you don't need to transfer any domain, Felton. It's completely okay. As long as you have a domain, we'll show you how to set everything up. Thanks, Leanne. Wish I had started with you. It would have been a lot cheaper. Well, yeah, I mean, we've made a lot of mistakes and done a lot of other stuff and bought hosting and bought everything from GoDaddy and learned from those mistakes and stuff. Um, so yeah, that's why we're basically here with ClickBank University, so you guys don't make the same mistakes that we have and that we've learned from. So just Google GoDaddy promo codes, guys, and you'll find everything you need. And when you guys have trouble with something, like maybe you're having trouble with something with ClickBank, maybe you're having trouble with something with your website, whatever it is, always Google stuff. I think that's a huge thing that a lot of people miss out on, is they don't Google stuff. If you ever are stuck or whatever, you can pretty much get your way out of it with Googling it. All right, here's a good one. What if I have, a bunch of different products in the same niche, and should I just put them all on the same domain? Should I not? And it kind of depends how you set up your products, but for the most part, you want to keep it separate. Okay, it's way easier. Say if you have um, a trail running course on like how to maybe go to the best trails in California, or maybe the other course is how to buy the best sneakers, and another course is how to stay fit with trail running. Since they're all slightly different, it doesn't make sense to go to the same domain / somewhere else. It's better to just have a trail running course on one domain and your different courses all on different domains. Makes it much easier for your customer. Nancy, how does your domain relate to your business name? So with ClickBank, you don't have to set up like a full-blown business. You can just be on it as like a independent consultant, basically, or independent contractor. That's what it's called, I think. Don't take my advice for legal advice, but it doesn't really matter. You just want to make your domain the same as your product name. All right, so let us know in the chat if you guys have any more questions about this kind of stuff before we wrap it up. And the goal, guys, is just to go ahead and get your domain and just do it. You know, if you come up with a better domain tomorrow or next week, that's okay. You can get that next week. It's only like $5 or $10. You know, once you have those promo codes on it. All right, looks like that's it. So what I want you guys to do before the next training is to finish literally everything. How many of you guys are done with your product? Say yes, your initial product, like what you're going to offer to your customers. Say yes in the chat if you have that done. Or no, that's okay too. Just let me know. Yes, yes, no, no, no. Yes, no, yes, yes, yes. Still working on it. Okay, cool. So yeah, I want you guys to get that done if you can, okay? If not, just try to get it done by whatever date you're gonna set as a goal. And how many of you guys are done with your sales video, like a PowerPoint sales video? Let me see yes or no in the chat. No, 90%. No, yes, no, almost. Yes, yes. Okay, cool. So a good amount of you guys, but still a mix. So what I want you guys to do is try to finish that stuff out. You know, the next training we're going to go over the site builder and exactly how to plug everything, like all your product content and your sales video, into the site builder. That way, it's everything you need to do to go live, because that's a big thing. And what we're going to do with the site builder, one of the first things is actually to hook up your domain, which is why we did it in this training. We went over the whole domain stuff. So what I want you to do for homework is, you know, finish everything from the past trainings. Totally cool to finish that stuff up. But also by today, okay, today, get a domain, okay? Get a domain for your product. So let me see if you guys are going to get a domain. Say yes in the chat if you're going to do that, because what you're going to do once you type in yes is you're making yourself liable and you're saying I'm going to do it, and you'll actually make it happen. So go ahead, write yes in the chat, because there's no reason you shouldn't, you know, just tonight take 10-15 minutes, brainstorm, write down stuff. You have some notes hopefully by this training, some ideas. Go on to the ClickBank marketplace to check out what people are calling their products. It'll give you some more ideas, and just get that done. So you have a domain, you actually own it. And basically what the domain is, okay, it's real estate. Once you have it, you can choose to have it forever. And what's happening is, you know, more and more people are getting domains. Thousands of domains are getting taken every single day. And eventually, I don't know what they're going to do with domains. They're just adding new extensions like .club or like education and Los Angeles, all this kind of stuff. So you want to get your domain, and just that way you have something and we can actually plug it into the site builder. Okay, so this is the last thing you need besides all that other stuff. That way we can go full blast with the site builder. So sounds good, everyone? You can do your best to get everything done, or at least, you know, get the domain thing done for the next training. Yes, yes. Okay, awesome. So Adam, is there anything else before we wrap this up?
No, I think you nailed everything, and I think now that you guys are going to have your domain and everything set up, you'll be able to plug it into the builder when we talk about that next week and actually have stuff to go live with right away. So that's the last step for you guys all to get everything up and running. And then once we do that, then we will have you guys launch your products and get them live. So super exciting, guys, and we will talk to you next week.
All right, perfect. Talk to you next week, everyone. See ya.
Thanks. See ya.